Welcome once again to Who is This Loan Officer Person? A Disambiguation. This is the 7th video in this series, and it's the first series I've ever done. So to all 7 of you who followed all the way along, I really appreciate you. And there's one really important message that I want to deliver in this final episode. And that is, just like any other professional, a mortgage loan officer is as good as their process, is as good as their professionalism. So if you have a relationship with somebody at a national bank, or you have a relationship with somebody at a mortgage bank like me, or you have a relationship with a broker, and those people work hard for you and they answer the phones in the evenings and they pick up the phone on the weekends, etc., then that's somebody you probably want to work with. Remember what I've said in the past. A great loan officer can get a good loan through any system. So as long as they're meeting your expectations as it relates to customer service, definitely stick with them. That is actually more important than an eighth of a point in interest rate. And the reason for that is that loan officer, a good loan officer, is there to follow your process all the way along. It's just like your insurance agent. If they find a better program for you, they're going to give you a call if they're a good insurance agent or insurance broker. If you're got a good attorney, they're going to make sure that they stay on top of your stuff, or a CPA, a good CPA. They're going to make sure they stay on top of your stuff. They're going to follow up with you. And if they can help you out in any way, they're going to proactively reach out. And if they don't, and you reach out to them, they're going to get back to you in a reasonable amount of time, eager to help. So it doesn't matter whether they're MLOs in national banks or mortgage banks or broker shops like we're going to describe today. The reality is that create that relationship and stick with that relationship as long as it can last, because that's going to save you tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your home ownership, because it's not going to be the first one and it's not going to be the last one, and God knows how many properties you're going to buy and be a part of refinancing, etc., over the years. It's way better to have a relationship with somebody than just bail every time there's an eighth of a point. You're going to save money in the long run. And away we go. First episode, we talked about types of institutions, then types of lending, then types of licensing and the NMLS. And for the last couple of episodes, including today, we're talking about what these loan officers actually are. We talked about initially national bank loan officers, then we talked about mortgage bankers, and today we're talking about mortgage brokers. All right, brokers. What is a broker MLO? Licensing required in every state, just like a mortgage bank. The continuing education, again, like the mortgage bank, is required by the state and the NMLS. The programs they offer can be a wide range of programs. The only caveat being the institution needs to have a wholesale lending team and therefore be able to set up broker relationships. But there's a lot of institutions out there that allow that, and it also allows for very marginal loans. So you have somebody that comes in and they've got, self-employed, but they don't have any, so you have somebody that comes in that's self-employed that doesn't have any income showing, but because they're writing everything off, but they have large deposits in their business account. Oftentimes a broker relationship will allow you to use bank statement loans, that kind of thing. And then the territory, they are subject to the territory within which they are licensed. Most of the time that's going to be the individual state where they reside. All right, pros and cons for being a broker. The pros are access to a large array of programs, it's all about mortgage. So in broker shops, whether they're individual or multi-person broker shops, 100% of what they do is mortgage. So they're always focused on, at least they should be always focused on improving the loan officer experience. When you improve the loan officer experience, that's a shorthand way of saying improve the experience of both the realtor and the customer as well. They have very low overheads. Most broker shops don't have operational staff because broker loans are done through, operations is done through the bank that they are going through, their institution that they have the broker relationship or wholesale relationship with. So they don't have a lot of overhead. They have So Because of that, you have maximum ability to innovate around operations and marketing tools. And they're rarely strict on the reporting structure. So loan officers, as long as they're closing a loan occasionally, most broker shops aren't interested in getting rid of people. Whereas if you don't close a loan for 6 months at a place like Wells Fargo, you're gone. And oftentimes at mortgage banks, it's the same way because of the overhead required per seat. In broker shops, it's very low, and so you could be a absolute part-time loan officer and you could work for a broker shop. The cons, again, licensed by state. Many states have additional requirements for brokers and licensure, and such as demonstrating they have errors and omissions, and such as demonstrating that they have errors and omissions insurance. They get no internal referrals whatsoever because there's no customers other than those that you bring to the table. Many major banks don't offer a wholesale lending operation. So many banks don't offer a wholesale lending opportunity. So Bank of America, Wells Fargo, I don't even think Chase does. So these major banks typically don't have wholesale divisions. I think that was because in 2008, they all got hosed, a lot of them by the broker situation. So I'm sure they got hosed by the banking situation and by their internal folks. But the reality is that they decided to cut their losses and therefore don't have any wholesale relationships available for brokers. So again, those programs can be sort of at the margins, but they can be very, very useful. You know, as well as being a pro, having very little internal operational structure is a con because you can't simply pass your file off to a processor and move on to the next deal. You have to work that loan all the way through, and trying to negotiate the operational teams of the end investor or the wholesale relationship can be very difficult at times. There are many banks that have great wholesale operations teams, but a lot of them just, it's first come, first serve, and they don't return calls, and it's terrible. So again, having an internal operations is good. Having an internal personalized operation, so you go to the same processor every time, is the best. And I think you find those at mortgage banks. These folks too are subject to the cumbersome NMLS renewal process, and it just is what it is. And regardless of wholesale relationship, you're going to have EPO or early payoff requirements, and they're going to be raking back commissions, and there's no one else to take that hit. So I've worked for all three of these types of institutions. Banks never hit me for any kind of early payoff. I've been hit with mortgage in the mortgage banking business. I've been hit with early payoffs 4 times. Only 1 time did they charge me back for it. I really do try to set those expectations with customers so that that doesn't happen. But in mortgage, in a broker situation, you're just stuck. You've got to deal with it. All right. Thank you so much for following me these last 7 episodes. My name is Michael Collier, and I've been doing this for 27 years, and I'm absolutely happy to help. 650-288-8170 is my everything number, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos. If you have any questions, please email me back or put a comment in the videos below. I haven't received a comment yet, so that ought to be interesting once that comes in. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic day, and again, thanks for following me. 650-288-8170. Signing off. Take care.